trashed by more people or anything
It's
like
not
that?
trashed by more people. What you're saying is not correct. It's not trashed by more people.
I'm not saying it is.
Quentin Tarantino may be a cinematic genius, but behind the scenes, his uncompromising vision has sparked explosive clashes with some of Hollywood's biggest stars. From creative tensions to outright battles on set, these legendary confrontations reveal a darker side of artistic brilliance, where ego, ambition, and authenticity collide in spectacular fashion. Quentin Tarantino, known for his fierce independence and cinematic intellect, has carved a singular path through modern film. With a vast knowledge of movie history and a meticulous eye for performance, he has crafted some of the most iconic partnerships in Hollywood, alongside a few infamous fallouts. As the mind behind genre-defining works like Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, Tarantino has an uncanny talent for spotting genuine screen presence. However, this same instinct has sometimes led to intense friction with actors whose methods or personal conduct clash with his artistic vision and uncompromising standards. What makes his professional feuds especially revealing is the stark contrast they expose between pure filmmaking craft and the commercial machinery of Hollywood. His signature dialogue and deep character writing demand actors who not only grasp his intellectual depth, but also surrender their egos in service of his storytelling. Those unable or unwilling to meet these high standards often find themselves at odds with a director who does not tolerate creative interference. These confrontations have become legendary within the industry, serving as both warning signs and fascinating case studies in navigating the ego-driven world of Hollywood. One such example is Tarantino's long-standing disdain for Chevy Chase. Their conflict highlights a deeper divide in understanding what real screen performance entails. While Tarantino once admired Chase's sharp comedic timing, he became increasingly disillusioned with what he saw as a shallow, self-referential style that broke the cinematic illusion. Tarantino values actors who fully vanish into their characters, while Chase's winking, self-aware performances felt to him like extended sketches, rather than sincere artistic expression. Casting director Victoria Thomas, who worked with both men at different times, noted that Tarantino viewed Chase as emblematic of everything wrong with modern comedy, more spectacle than substance. Their brief talks in the 90s about potential collaborations quickly dissolved when Tarantino doubted Chase's willingness to dive into the emotional depth and darkness many of his roles demand. Chase's off-screen reputation for being difficult only added to the skepticism, cementing Tarantino's belief that the comedian lacked the seriousness required for the kind of cinema he champions. Tarantino's sharp public remarks about actors who confuse smugness with intelligence were widely seen as thinly veiled jabs at Chase, reinforcing the idea that their disconnect wasn't just about style, but about core creative values. What initially appeared to be an ideal pairing of Tarantino's razor-sharp screenwriting and George Clooney's rising stardom soon exposed a deep divide in their creative philosophies. Clooney preferred to inject humanity into flawed characters, while Tarantino was fully committed to the grim, nihilistic tone that formed the heart of his screenplay. According to director Robert Rodriguez, Clooney constantly tried to make his character more relatable, whereas Tarantino believed the story's strength lay in refusing to justify or sanitize the actions of its criminals. Their discussions on set became tense negotiations, each pushing to balance emotional accessibility with artistic authenticity. The situation grew more strained when Clooney voiced concerns over the film's graphic violence, prompting intense debates about the responsibility of filmmakers to portray brutality versus challenging societal norms. Tarantino's fiery resistance to diluting the material created a pressure-filled environment that weighed heavily on the entire cast and crew. The creative friction between Quentin Tarantino and Edward Norton stands as one of the most intellectually charged in Hollywood history. Both are celebrated for their dedication to their craft, but their efforts to collaborate quickly fell apart over questions of control and process. Tarantino initially praised Norton's cerebral approach to acting, but soon ran up against the actor's tendency to dissect scripts and propose detailed changes. Tarantino, who guards his dialogue with near-religious devotion, found Norton's analytical style invasive. As producer Harvey Weinstein once observed, Norton treats scripts like scholarly works requiring deep analysis, whereas Tarantino views his screenplays as masterpieces refined through relentless self-editing, not subject to outside revision. Their disconnect was subtly echoed in public statements, where both men avoided direct insults but clearly signaled mutual incompatibility. For film fans, it was a frustrating lost opportunity. Two great talents unable to create something exceptional simply because they couldn't agree on who should lead the creative process. The breakdown between Tarantino and Bruce Willis during Pulp Fiction was perhaps the most damaging of all. Initially, Tarantino believed Willis's established tough guy image would perfectly embody Butch, a boxer trapped between instinct and loyalty. But their creative collaboration quickly deteriorated into open conflict. Willis sought clarity and traditional motivations for his character, while Tarantino argued that Butch should act from raw impulse, not over-explained psychology. This fundamental clash over character depth extended into disputes about the purpose and structure of action scenes. Tensions peaked when Willis allegedly challenged Tarantino's authority on set, questioning his decisions and suggesting alternate takes. Tarantino's furious reaction ignited an atmosphere of hostility that cast a long shadow over the production. Only through careful management by producers and crew was a complete breakdown avoided. These confrontations underscore Tarantino's unwavering dedication to his vision and how even the most talented actors can find themselves at odds with his exacting artistic standards. If you found these behind-the-scenes tensions as fascinating as the films themselves, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories, and drop a comment below. Whose side are you on in these epic creative clashes? See you in the next video.